So much online content these days is video related. Just think of the success of TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. They all have their reels, and of course, there's the classic YouTube. It's no wonder then that video is a highly effective marketing tool. So, why does making that first video of you talking feel so hard? Maybe it's because that while video is a great way to share information, you're also sharing yourself at the same time. A lot of coaches and consultants I work with tell me that going from having never done it before to making their first video feels like a huge task, the kind of task that is easy to put off. But what if there was a step in between that would make the process feel easier and less scary? When you see online videos made by people who are confident on camera and are using a pro setup, it's easy to feel like you need to match them. The pressure to show up as a pro from day one is huge. But it doesn't have to be like this. Often this pressure is self-imposed. From my experience, I believe it's our own limiting beliefs that hold us back. The pressure to speak confidently with the right framing, lighting and message combine together to make video creation a hurdle that is too high for most people. If you've not done it before, I think the best way to start making videos is actually not by making a video. The technical side, the setup, the filming and the editing, can seem daunting, but it isn't actually the hardest part. The hardest part is working out what to say and how to say it. After all, slick production won't make up for rubbish content. That's why I think the easiest way to start by making videos is in fact to make a podcast first. The reason I say this is because a podcast is a chance to practice working out what to say and how to say it well, without having to worry about what you look like, getting the lighting right, or remembering your lines as you look into camera. It removes so much of that pressure. Your podcast doesn't have to be half-hour long rambles. It can simply be short 5 to 10 minute answers to common questions, just like this. By answering questions in this way, you'll get used to articulating your ideas without the added pressure of the camera. You can use notes, not use notes, read off the screen, it's up to you, no one can see you. I'm reading this off a laptop screen right now. The most important thing is that it gets you used to the sound of your own voice and the way you talk when you're explaining. It might feel a bit odd at first, but everyone feels like that, and after a while you do get used to it. What's more, audio editing is a lot easier than video editing, especially if you use a tool like Descript. This tool transcribes your audio into a document, and then you simply edit the audio by editing the document. It really is that simple. If you want to give this tool a go, I've put a link to this tool in the show notes of the episode for you. As you practice editing, knowing you can always chop it out later if you stumble or lose your train of thought, you will find that you get better at presenting. How you articulate your ideas will improve and you'll become more confident. The more you do, the easier it gets. Now you might be thinking, well, this is all very well for you to say, Simon, you've made lots of videos. And yes, that is true. I have been making videos for about 5 years now. Now at first, I hated it. I froze every time I pressed record, and I was really stiff and robotic with my delivery. But I persevered, and after only a few videos, I realised I didn't have to worry too much about it, because I could make the end result look really good by simply cutting out all of the times I messed up. The truth is, I still muck up. To get a 5 to 7 minute video, I will record for about 15 to 20 minutes. There's lots of fluffed lines and lots of misreading the script. Even in recording this podcast, I've mucked up quite a few times. I won't edit the next couple out so you can see what I mean. The point is that I know these things don't matter because The point is that I know that when I muck up, it doesn't matter because I can fix them in the editing. I don't fret about them because I know that I'm in control. The most important thing for you is that you get your ideas out there. Authentic marketing is your voice articulating your ideas and sharing generously with your audience. The more you show up, the more people will resonate with your ideas and want to find out more. Video is a great way for sharing ideas in a personal and engaging way, but the first time is often very hard. Doing a podcast makes getting started that little bit easier. As you build your confidence and you get more familiar with the writing, recording and editing process, adding video later is not such a big jump. To help you get started, check out my recommended tools guide to find out what tools I'm recommending for recording and editing your podcast. You'll find that guide on my website using the link in the show notes. This has been a very brief overview of how this process works. I go into a lot more detail in my book, Reframing Marketing, a 3-step guide to effective and ethical marketing. So if you want to create a journey for your client to go on and to have more conversations with the people who are ready to do the work, then you might want to give it a read. You can order your copy directly from me at reframingmarketing.com. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope this podcast has got you thinking. If you'd like to get a notification of when the next episode is released, then simply press the follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast.